2 minutes late. My apologies. We still go for 2 hours. We're starting the game in about a minute after we start. All right, let's see. Hey, we've got plenty of people already in. Baronator, Richard Green, Luke the Duke, Javier. Hey, guys. We got a couple champions in the chat. Few champions in the chat. Welcome. Good to see you guys. Welcome, Traveling Patty. Welcome back, Traveling Patty. I haven't seen you in a few. All right, guys, we're going to kick it off. We're going to kick it off with Guess That Balloon, and then we're going to move on to a couple more games. Round 2, we got one more stream after today, at least one more. All right, guys, first person to correctly guess what I am making will get a point on the scoreboard. Good luck, everybody. Work, brother, always at work. Gotta get that green. All right, guys, first person to correctly guess what I am making will get a point on the scoreboard. Not a motorcycle. B is correct. Oh, got to use that basket over here. All right, B was the correct answer. Sorry, I forgot to turn off the music. All right, first person on my screen who said B would be Luke the Duke, and of course I can't always pull up my screen. All right, guys, the champions are now entered on the scoreboard as pink. Luke the Duke, welcome to the scoreboard. All right, let's continue on. We're going to do another Guess That Balloon. I like to start the streams. Oh, and coming back from the breaks with Guess That Balloon, let people join. Yeah, champions are in pink, and the players competing for the champions to the Hall Champions will be in blue, just so you guys can tell them apart. All right, guys, we're going to play another round of Guess That Balloon. The first person to correctly guess what I am making will get a point on the scoreboard. Not a sword. Hey, Ronnie Lee, welcome back. Not a swan, not a gun, not a bike. All right, guys, I'm going to hold it. I'm going to do the comp. Oh, it was heart. Hey, Richard, everybody's voting. Everybody's rooting for you, Richard. You've been here for so long. All right, guys, first, let me type in heart on the chat so I can keep track. First person on my screen to say heart, I'm going to go back and confirm. It does look like it was Richard. All right, Richard, welcome to the scoreboard. Starting off strong. Let me give Richard his point, and we're going to continue on. We're going to do one more round of Guess That Balloon. And then we are going to move on to another game. One more round of Guess That Balloon. We're going to move on to another game. What do we got? Ooh, we got a lot of good ones. Gotta make sure I pump it up right. All right, guys. First person to correctly guess what I'm making will get a point on the scoreboard. Whoever earns the most points in one show, who isn't already in the Hall of Champions, will get their name entered in the Hall of Champions. And once you enter, you never leave. It's not a flower. It did come apart a little bit. Oh, it came apart a lot of it. Oh, it pops too, but butterfly was the correct answer. I do see butterfly. All right, who was the first person on my screen to say butterfly? I'm going to go all the way up to where I started the round. Toilet seat is a funny answer, but it is not correct. Luke the Duke thinks he's going to get the record First person on my screen who said butterfly was Javier. Javier, welcome to the scoreboard. Javier is a previous champ, so he's going in on pink. His name is going in as pink. All right, guys, you know the rules of you guys know the rules of the game show. First person to get the answer correct gets a point on the scoreboard. Some games can give multiple points out. We're gonna move on to Password, which is a recent addition as of yesterday. Hey, you're on your laptop today. Should be a little faster. All right, guys. Here's the rules for Password. I'm going to give you guys clues and hints to my one-word password, and the first person to correctly guess my one-word password without typos, capitalization does not matter. We'll get a point on the scoreboard. This is the game we added yesterday. All right, here are the hints and clues. First person to get it correct, letter by letter, gets a point. In a fight, you would do this to somebody else. You typically do not want one of these to hit your face. Punch is correct. Another point for Javier. All right, we're going to move on to another round of Password. What is this, guys? Dollar. This is a live game show where I host the games and you play the games. I do keep track of the score, and if whoever gets the most points at the end of the stream that are 2 hours long, who's not already in the Hall of Champions, gets your name permanently in the Hall of Champions. You only need to earn 1 point on this show to enter the Hall of Fame, which is currently at 98 people. All right, guys, we're going to move on to another round of Password, where I will give you guys clues and hints to my one-word password, and the first person to spell it correctly will get a point on the scoreboard. All right, guys, this is friendly argument. This is friendly arguments between a couple people. Friendly argument. It is not debate. You might think that these people are mad at each other. It is not debate. It is not disagreement. It does start with a B. We'll even read it's teasing remarks is another hint. Teasing remarks is another hint. Starts with a B. Babbling is not correct. Bully is not correct. First person to get it correct will get a point on the scoreboard. I'll even read the definition. The playful and friendly exchange of teasing remarks. It is not battling. It is not better. It is not battle. It is banter is correct. Banter is correct. I'm going to see who the first person to say it on my screen was. First person on my screen to say banter was Traveling Patty. Oh, Traveling Patty, I have to add you to the scoreboard. Welcome to the scoreboard. You're currently tied with Richard for entering the Hall of Champions. All right, guys. We're going to move on to... We're going to do a couple rounds of Blurt. We're going to do a couple rounds... That was a tough one. We're going to do a couple rounds of Blurt. Blurt is where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words, and the first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. I'm coming for you. Richard would be an example of banter. All right, guys, the 2 dictionary definitions. The first one, and you can answer either, both, doesn't matter. You're only allowed 1 guess per comment on this game. The first definition, a game in which 2 or 4 people hit a ball back and forth over a net with a large racket. The second definition, a black mineral taken from the ground and used as a fuel. Tennis is correct. Coal is correct. Traveling Patty, I'll be lenient with you 1 time on this one. You did say coal first. However, I only accept 1. There's only every game except for 1 that we play. You're only allowed 1 guess per comment. I'll be lenient the first time, but well, I'll be lenient right now since you haven't been here too long. Luke DeDuke with the point. Traveling Patty with the point for coal. All right, guys, we're going to move on to another round of Blurt. Blurt is where I give you the dictionary definition for 2 words, and the first person to get the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. The first definition, a student in the first year of high school or college. The second definition, a rim of stone or concrete along the edge of a road or sidewalk. Freshman is correct. 1 point for Traveling Patty. Curb is correct. Another point for Traveling Patty. Traveling Patty, looks like you're in the lead, ranking the champions. But this is a 2-hour-long game show. It is very, very subject to change, and the winner is not determined until the end. Till the end of the stream. We're going to play another round of Blurt, where I will give you guys the dictionary definition for 2 words. First person to tell me the correct word on either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition is an instrument that tells the time. The second definition is a narrow bed, usually made of canvas stretched over a folding frame. Clock is correct. 1 point to Loop-de-Doop. Second definition, a narrow bed, usually made of canvas, stretched over a folding frame. 1 point to Loop-de-Doop for clock. A narrow bed, usually made of canvas, stretched over a folding frame. Oftentimes, some people will take that camping. Cot is correct. First person on my screen who said cot was another point for Traveling Patty. Patty on a roll. We're going to play another round of Blurt, where I will give you guys the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person done with the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a mass of tiny drops of water that looks like a cloud and is on or near the ground. The second definition, a drinking glass with a stem and a base. Fog is correct, a point for Loop-de-Doop. The second definition, a drinking glass with a stem and a base. Is not a wine glass. Goblet is correct. Another point for Traveling Patty. All right, guys, we are going to play Guess That Balloon. First person correct to guess what I am making will get a point on the scoreboard. Oh, there's way too much air there. Dollar, it can be a little hard. We have a lot of regulars in right now, so... Mouse was correct. You guys can usually tell from how small the pump that was. Mouse was correct. Durler, not everybody gets a point their first time playing on the game show. However, if you stick along, I'm sure you'll catch on and be able to get some points. Mouse was correct. Mouse was correct. Oh, and it. Let me see who the first person on my screen to say mouse was. Loop-de-Doop for the point. Loop-de-Doop currently at 5. Richard 1. Javier 2. Traveling Patty 6. All right, guys, we're going to play Password. Password is where you guys have to guess my one-word password based off the clues and the hints that I give. That's right, Dollar. All right, guys, if you are playing with wires, and sometimes when you touch the ends of 2 wires together, it will produce this. Spark is correct. Spark is correct. Point for Traveling Patty. Guys, I'm having a technical difficulty. I am very sorry. I will have to be back in 1 minute. I'm having a technical difficulty. Give me 1 second. All right, guys, sorry about that. It was just a small technical difficulty. I will add another 2 minutes. I will add another 2 minutes to tonight's game show due to that technical difficulty. Very sorry. We are going to go ahead and continue. All right, we're going to play another round of password. Password is where you guys have to guess my one-word password based off the clues and the hints that I get. You are not allowed to have typos in this game. Other games do allow them. This one does not. All right, guys. If you want something, but you don't get it, if you want something from me, and I don't want to give it to you, sometimes I'll have to blank you. I'll have to blank your request. It is not ask. It starts with a D. It's not beg. Is a 4-letter word. Deny is correct. 1 point for Traveling Patty. All right, guys, we're going to play another round of password where I will give you guys the dictionary. I'm sorry, that's blurred. You guys are going to have to guess my one-word password based on the clues and the hints that I give. You must spell it correctly. This is a part of the body that is attached to my neck. It's not the ear. The head. Luke to Duke, 1 point. All right, we're going to move on to a round of Blurt. Blurt is where I give you guys the dictionary definition for 2 words. And the first person to correctly tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a covering of soft, thick cloth used on a bed to keep a person warm. The second definition, a jacket and matching trousers that are worn for sleeping. Sheet is incorrect. Blanket is correct. 1 point for Luke to Duke. Bronny, welcome back. Pajamas is correct. 1 point for Javier. All right, guys, we're going to move on to another round of Blurt, where I give you the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to know the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a turtle, especially one that lives on land. Second definition, a float used to mark dangerous places in a body of water to show where boats may safely go. Tortoise is correct. 1 point for Bronny. Buoy is correct. 1 point for Luke. Let me go ahead and then point for Luke. Bronny, welcome to the scoreboard. And Bronny, you are a champ, so your name will be entered in as pink. We have 2 people competing so far for entering the Hall of Champions, Traveling Patty and Richard. All right, we're going to do another round of Blurt. We're going to do another round of Blurt where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Wait, hold on. Richard said he got that on his. Richard on mine, it went Bronny said tortoise, and then Luke said boy. Javier tortuga, dollar snap. And of course I can always pull up my thing. We're going to continue on with another round of Blurt, where I give you guys the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to know the correct word will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, one of the hard, bony parts in the mouth used to chew and bite. The second definition, someone who loves something and follows it closely. Teeth is correct. Anissa, welcome back. Second definition, it is not passion. Someone who loves something and follows it closely. Almighty Royal, welcome back. The person who recently entered the Hall of Champions last stream. What do you guys think of? Someone who loves something and follows it closely is a very short word. I will show you my screen in 1 second, Dollar. I will show you my screen in 1 second. It starts with an F. Fan is correct. All right, guys, give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and pop out my chat and show you guys who got those answers. First, we have to have some system for tie breaking, and on many of you guys' screen, it will show that many of you sent it first. If you guys sent it near the same time, but since I'm hosting, we're going to use my chat as a tiebreaker. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my screen. As you can see, let me make sure that's good. Pajamas was the answer for the last round, so we're going to go here to first see the first person who said teeth on my screen was Anissa. And the first person to say fan was Almighty Royal. So, guys, I know the internet can seem a little bit unfair and technology can be a little bit slower and it's not always in real time, but we do have to have some way to break the ties and to be fair. This environment is supposed to be fair, fun, and friendly, so we have to have some system, and my screen will just be the system. All right, let me go ahead and add you guys to the scoreboards. Welcome back, Anissa, and welcome back. Welcome back, Almighty Royal. And Almighty Royal is the recent champion to enter. We currently only have 2 people competing for entering the champion, because we Hall of Champions, we have a lot of champions currently playing right now. There's a point for Anissa, a point for Almighty Royal. Guys, we currently have 7 people on the scoreboard. 5 of them are already in the Hall of Champions. And I picked the person with the most amount of points who's not already in the Hall of Champions to join the Hall of Champions at the end of the stream. We're going to continue on and play another round of Blurt, where I will give you guys the... Sometimes you see answers before questions are asked. Yeah, sometimes it can be slow, Richard. We are going to play another round of Blurt, where I will give you guys the dictionary definition for 2 words, and the first person to give me the correct word before... the first person to give me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition: a long piece of hard material that is used to hold a broken bone in place or support something delicate. The second definition: a word or group of words believed to have magic power. Splint is correct. Point for Brawny. Spell is correct. All right, guys, let me go ahead and confirm that I have it right. All right, let me just go back and confirm. Looks like Brawny got Splint's. Brawny. Oh, you're already on the scoreboard. That's right. And who got Spell first on mine would be Javier. Another point for Javier. We're going to continue on with another round of Blurt. Can we do a balloon, please? Sure, we can do a balloon. First person to correctly guess the balloon that I am making will get a point on the scoreboard. David, I can check. No sword, no swan. A gun would be correct. Gun would be correct. I have to see on my screen who said gun first. Give me 1 second. Luke to Duke said gun first on my screen. He's going to go ahead and get the point. All right, guys. We're going to do another round. Have I hitchhiked across America? Almighty Royal, you said you checked out my shorts. I have hitchhiked over 10,000 miles across the United States over the on and off over the last 8 years. I just hit my 10,000th mile this year. First person to correctly guess what I'm making will get a point on the scoreboard. Which 10,000 miles is about 20,000 kilometers. All right, this is a fast one. Sword is correct. Is that not scary? Yeah, can be. First person on my screen to say sword was Luke Duke. Luke Duke with 10 points. You watched them yesterday. Yep, I have done quite a fair bit of backpacking in my adult life, and done quite a fair bit of backpacking and hitchhiking. Dealing with randoms. Yep, I have gotten in over 200 strangers' cars in my adult life and just went with them across state borders and miles, sometimes hundreds of miles. Sometimes I was with a stranger for days. I've had many people take me home to their house and feed me. It was very cool. I do it for fun. It is actually one of my favorite things to do. All right, guys, we're going to play another round of Guess That Balloon. Where's my favorite place I hitched to? Oh, yeah, that's a good question. That is a good question. I don't quite know if I know the answer to that. I have done 4 of my hitchhiking journeys were about 2,000 miles each. 4 of them were about 2,000 miles each, one way. Turtle would be correct. I'm going to finish it for the new people. Be able to see it. By the way, I will admit hitchhiking is dangerous. It is fun, but it is dangerous. I have been in a couple unsafe circumstances that I would not recommend it for everyone, but it is very fun. Guys, it was a turtle. It was a little turtle. Let me see who the first person on my screen who said turtle was. Anonymous T, welcome to the chat. I'm not sure what my favorite place to hitchhike to was. To be honest, I really enjoyed a lot of it. I went to Canada last year, and then I went 1,000 miles through the desert this year. That was really hot. First person to say mouse was Luke Duke. All right, we're going to move on to another game. Tomorrow, do I stream? I do. Do you know your MBTI? Anissa, what is MBTI? Dollar, I will be streaming tomorrow. I will be streaming tomorrow. All right, guys, we're going to play another round of Blurt. Around the same time as today, I'm going to do 1 to 3 streams tomorrow. I will post the times that I'm going to stream in Central Time in community posts sometime in the morning when I figure it out. I don't like to make the time commitments until the day of. I have a lot of stuff currently going on in my life, and so I will have to check. If you are in Central Time, right, this stream's right now started at 7 p.m. Central Time. I think tomorrow I'll be starting a stream at 4 or 5 p.m., the first stream of the night, and then I will do a stream 1 hour after I end. The streams are always 2 hours long. We're going to continue on to another round of Blurt. Blurt is where I read the dictionary definition for two words. Yes, give me 1 second, Baronet, I'll answer. Blurt is where I give the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to give me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, a long piece of hard material that is used to hold a broken bone in place or support something delicate. The second definition, a word or group of words believed to have magic power. Splint is correct. Spell is correct. 1 point to Almighty. And 1 point to... Did we just do that? Oh my God, we did. We did. I am so sorry. No points. I am so sorry. All right, guys, I'm a little distracted. I'm so sorry. No points. Yeah, I did just do that one. All right, real quick, we're going to continue the game in about 30 seconds. To answer your question, Baronator, do I have a day job? No, I've been self-employed for, I think, most of the last 4 years with a couple periods where I wasn't self-employed. So I've been living off of income I've made from selling games for the last 3 years on other platforms. And then a couple other miscellaneous ways. I also do some other miscellaneous stuff, but for the most part, I work for myself. I don't make a lot of money doing it right now, but I make enough to be able to focus on this. So I'm going to continue to focus on this, and hopefully if this does good, I could do this for a long time, because this is my favorite thing to do, is play and create games. All right, guys, this is a new round of Blurt. Sorry about the last card. Blurt is where I give you guys the dictionary definition for 2 words, and the first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition: a long pointed tooth, usually one of a pair, that extends outside the mouth of certain animals. The second definition: one of the light growths that form the covering of the skin of birds. Richard, I'm really glad you like it. Tusk was correct. That is a point for Richard. All right, Richard catching up for Traveling Patty. And feather was correct. First person to say feather on my screen, and I can always pull up my thing, was Almighty Royal. I love seeing the champions coming back and competing to try to break the high score. A tusk. A tusk is kind of like a deers have like antlers. It's similar to that. Yeah. And the woolly mammoth, those things that are coming out are a tusk, or is that just an elephant? But yeah. Hey, dollar. Once you get 1 point, you're entered into the Hall of Fame, where there's currently 98 people who've earned at least 1 point sometime on this game show. Once you enter, you never leave. We're going to play another round of Blurt, guys, where I will read the dictionary definition for 2 words, and the first person to know the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition: soft drink containing carbonated water, flavoring, and sometimes ice cream. The second definition: goodwill or kindness towards others. Soda is correct. Second definition repeated: goodwill or kindness towards others. Goodwill or kindness towards others. I will give you guys a hint. When you donate money, you could call it this. There's a lot of foundations for this. Charity is correct. Charity is correct. The first person on my screen who said soda would be Bronny. And the first person on my screen to say charity would be Anissa. All right, we have Traveling Patty in the lead with 8 points, and Richard with 2 points following. Luke Duke has 11, Javier 4, Bronny 3, Anissa 2, Almighty Royal 2. All right. Baronator got kicked off of YouTube. I'm trying very hard to not get kicked off of YouTube. We're going to play another round of Blurt. TMI. I agree. It is a little TMI. We're going to play another round of Blurt where I'll give you guys the... And if it was, Anissa would be the class clown, because Anissa says a lot of funny things on this stream. We're going to play another round of Blurt where I give you guys the dictionary definition for 2 words, and the first person to know the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition: something built across a river, railroad, track, or road so that people or vehicles can cross from one side to the other. The second definition: a head-first plunge into water. Bridge is correct. 1 point to Bronny. A head-first plunge into water. Dive is correct. Yes, I would like to do Battleship today now that we don't have as many people. Battleship is hard when we have too many people. So we are going to do Battleship today. 1 point for Bronny for saying bridge first. Where are you, Bronny? And 1 point for Luke Duke for saying dive. All right, we're going to do another round of Blurt. Can I decrease the amount of time for Battleship? I can. Almighty Royal, you said you got dive. I will pull it up on my screen. Give me 1 second here. Do like to be fair. I do like to show you guys. This problem will only be here for a few more days at the most. I have a solution coming. Whoop-de-dook on my screen said dive above almighty, and this is the live chat. Although the difference between live chat and top chat is top chat filters out spam. So it's still the same chat, just sometimes spam is gone, like inappropriate words and stuff. So, but I do still try to keep it on live chat just in case I'm wrong about that. All right, we are going to continue on with another round of Blurt. Blurt is where I give you the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to get it correct gets a point on the scoreboard. First definition, a hinged metal lid over an automobile engine. The second definition, a pin that is worn as an ornament and fastens with a clasp. The first definition, a hinged metal lid over an automobile engine. Hood is correct, 1 point to Javier. Second definition, nobody has it yet, a pin that is worn as an ornament and fastens with a clasp. Javier to get that point for Hood. Brooch is correct. It looks like on my screen Anissa said it first. All right, we are going to, as per requested, let me make sure I have it set up. I do believe I have. I know I haven't done it in a couple streams. We've had quite too many players to play it. We are going to play Battleship. Do not start your guesses yet. You guys can start your guesses when you hear the ding, ding, ding. So how Battleship works is I have a Battleship board here, and I will show you guys what the Battleship board looks like for anybody new. The Battleship board is a 10 by 10 grid. You guys are guessing where I hid my ships. The first person to hit that spot on the board will get a point. The 10 by 10 grid, the columns are numbered from left to right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey, Alexio Gaming, welcome back. The rows are lettered A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. You must pair a letter with a number. For example, you could say A1 or J10. Go ahead. You are allowed as many guesses as you like. 1 guess per comment. We're going to start the timer. All right, we're going to go ahead and stop it right there to keep it a little bit short and keep going. I'm only accepting the guesses above when I said done on my screen. Above when I said done on my screen. All right. Let me get my board out. All right, guys, we're going to read them. We have A1, hit. That point would go to Luke-de-Duke. I don't remember which marker is which. 1 point for Luke-de-Duke. B9, hit. A5, hit. Oh, I have to get the point out. Sorry. 1 point to Javier. B1, hit. A2. Oh, 1 point to Luke-de-Duke. Sorry, guys, I'm a little thrown off. I have a distraction and little thrown off today, but I'll be better by the next stream, hopefully. All right. A2, hit. 1 point for Richard. C6, hit. 1 point for Bronny. CQ is invalid. B5 hit. 1 point for Javier. D2 miss. E5 miss. C5 hit. 1 point for Javier. C1 hit. 1 point for Luke to do. D5 miss, D5 miss, D1 miss, A6 hit. 1 point for Almighty Royal. E6 miss, E5 miss, E1 miss, D10 miss, F5 miss, F1 miss, F7 miss, G1 miss. All right, if you guys caught on of how fast I read those off, you might know where the ships are hidden. We are going to, that is the wrong light. That is also, all right, guys. Many points were handed out. If I forgot to give you your point, please let me know. We're going to continue on. Dollar, I hope to see you tomorrow. Dollar, I hope to see you tomorrow. All right, guys, we are going to continue on. We're going to play a round of 5-second rule. 5-second rule is a new addition to this game today. All right, how 5-second rule works is I'm going to give you guys a category, and you guys have to name 3 things in one comment. You guys have to name 3 things in one comment that fit the category. You're allowed as many comments as you want. However, for a comment to actually count towards earning the point, you must, all 3 things must be in the first comment. Okay. The first category, name 3 things with buttons, and I am the judge to determine if the 3 things do fit in the category or if they do not. Name 3 things with buttons. All 3 things must be in one comment to count. If you have one of them that do not fit in the category, I move on to the next comment. Name 3 things with buttons. All right. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to start reading them. All right. Javier, I had to Google this one. A remote controller is one thing, and I had to Google if a remote is the same thing as a controller, difference between a remote and a controller, but it is called a remote controller, and those are both shorthands for the same thing, so therefore you only have 2 guesses, so I'm going to move on. Shirts, coats, remotes. That would be correct. Baronator, you're going to get that point. I know this one's going to be a little subjective. I will be the final say on that. Of course, you guys can say otherwise in the chat, and we can all figure it out. You are allowed to disagree. Who got it? Baronator. Where are you, Baronator? Baronator, I haven't added you yet. All right, Baronator. Let me go ahead and add you to the chat. Welcome to the scoreboard. Welcome to the scoreboard, Baronator. All right, we're going to continue on. Hey, Felix Rain, welcome back. PlayStation controller, TV remote. I think it's PlayStation remote controller, though. Oh, technical difficulties. Oh, you know what? Give me a second. That's a good point. Javier, you did make a good distinguishment. Controller and a remote can both be devices that issue commands to control something, but they have different purposes and types. And you give me a good example of how that could and would be different. So I'm actually going to take the point away from Baronator and give it to Javier. That was a good argument, and that was an accepted argument. Tiebreaker. We cannot do a tiebreaker between only two people, and I do not want to give a point out to two people to try to keep it fair. All right, guys, we are going to skip 5-second rule for the rest of the day. I really do need to go through this and make sure that the things are appropriate and fluid for this. So we're gonna go ahead and go back to Blurt. Blurt is where I will give you the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to know the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. You guys will see 5-second rule again. I just have to go through all the cards. First definition, and up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, a muscular piece of flesh in the mouth that is used in tasting and swallowing food and for speaking. The second definition, to close and open the eyes quickly. To close and open the eyes quickly. Tongue is correct. 1 point for Brawny. It is not wink. It is blink. Another point for Brawny. Felix Rain, good to see you back. All right, guys. We are going to play another round of Blurt where I will read the dictionary definition for 2 words, and the first person knowing the correct word for either definition. We'll get a point on the scoreboard. That's okay, Baronator. I'll see you on the next stream. The first definition, designed not to burn. The second definition, a building or group of buildings where soldiers live. First definition, designed not to burn. Second definition, a building or group of builders where soldiers live. Barox is correct. 1 point to Richard Green. Fireproof is correct. Another point for Richard Green. We're going to continue on to another round of Blurt, where I will give you guys the dictionary definition for 2 words, and the first person to know the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, the liquid that falls from the skies as rain and is found in rivers, oceans, lakes, and pools. The second definition, to lower the head or body quickly to avoid being hit or seen. Water is correct. 1 point to Dovid. Dovid, it looks like that was your first point. Give me a second. I'll add you the scoreboard. Duck is correct. 1 point to Luke to do. Guys, give me 1 second. I have to add Dovid to the scoreboard. Dovid, welcome to the scoreboard. To make sure I spell your name correctly, because after this stream, Dovid, since this is your first time earning a point on this game show, I will be adding your name to the Hall of Fame. Welcome. Once you enter, you never leave. You are the 99th person to enter the Hall of Fame. The next person to enter the Hall of Fame will be the first person in the 3 digits. So all of you guys who have been coming back over and over, you're in the first 100 people to enter the Hall of Fame. First 100 people to get a point on this game show. We're going to continue on to another round of Blurt, where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words, and the first person to know the correct word for... the first person to tell me the correct definition for either... the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. The first definition, the crime of intentionally setting fire to buildings or other property. The second definition, a very large African bird with long legs and a long neck. Arson is correct. Another point for Richard Green. Ostrich is correct. A point for Luke to Duke. 1 point for Luke to Duke. 1 point for Richard. Richard, you're on your way to catching up for the Hall of Champions. All right, we are going to play another round of Blurt where I will give you guys the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to know the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a building in which people live. The second definition, a drink made by mixing fruit juices, soda, or other ingredients. Yeah, you're doing great, Richard on fire. Traveling Patty's in the lead with 8, followed by Richard with 6, and I will read the champion score right after this. House is correct. Well, another point for Richard Greens. Welcome, Mike Tones. Cocktail is not correct. Cocktail is not correct. A drink made by mixing fruit juices, soda, or other ingredients. This is a common kids drink. Cocktail would probably be this if you were to add alcohol. However, there's not alcohol added to this. It is not smoothie. Starts with a P. In fact, this word was said earlier. It's not juice. This is the dictionary definition. A drink made by mixing fruit juices, soda, or other ingredients. Punch is correct. Another point. Let me make sure that I give that point out because I know there was a lot of answers, so I have to go back and make sure. Punch is correct. Another point for Richard Green. Richard, you're currently tied for entering the Hall of Champions. Guys, one person enters the Hall of Champions every single stream who is not already on there. The names in pink, these are the players who have already entered the Hall of Champions by getting the most points in a stream. Currently, Luke DeDuke is at 17. Richard, 8. Javier, 9. Traveling Patty, 8. Brawny, 7. Anissa, 3. Almighty Royal, the most recent addition, 3. Baronator, I'm sorry I took your point away and gave it back to Javier. You are going to stay on the board because I'm sure you're going to get a point. Dovid, 1. All right, we're going to move on to another round of Blurt. Blurt is where I give you the dictionary definition for 2 words, and the first person to guess the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, a juicy, yellowish, edible fruit that looks like a small peach. The second definition, a business establishment that provides rooms and offers often meals. I think Bear might have left, but I think he's coming back. If not, that's okay. His name will stay on the scoreboard. Hotel is correct. First definition, a juicy, yellowish, edible fruit that looks like a small peach. It is not lemon. A juicy, yellowish, edible fruit that looks like a small peach. Starts with an A. I'm going to give the point to Dovid for hotel. It's not kiwi. It is not apple. It is not nectarine. It is apricot. Point for Javier. All right, moving on to another round of Blurt. We're going to play a few more rounds, and then we're going to take our halftime 5-minute break. Or actually, we're going to play probably 1 or 2 more rounds. All right, we're going to continue on with Blurt, where I will read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to get it correct gets a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a plant that has thick stems covered with spines. The second definition, a strip of cloth used to bind or cover a wound. Hey, Dollar, welcome back. It is not a tree. A plant that has thick stems covered with spines. The second definition, it's not a conifer, it is a cactus. Felix, congrats. Second definition, a strip of cloth used to bind or cover a wound. Bandage is correct. All right, guys, give me 1 second. I do have to add Felix to the scoreboard. Welcome back, Felix. I do remember you from the other day. Felix, welcome to the scoreboard. I'll give the point to Felix and then the point to Richard. And Richard, it does look like you just overtook first place and are in the lead for entering the Hall of Champions. Hey, Mike Tones. Hey, I'm glad you like it. Well, I do try to stream every single day. I have 1 more stream today. These streams go for 2 hours long with a 5-minute break in the middle. 1 person enters the Hall of Champions every single stream. Whoever has the most points who's not already in there. All right, we're going to continue on with 1 more round of Blurt, then take our 5-minute halftime break. Blurt is where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to know the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a formal school dance. The second definition, a substance, especially medicine, that acts against the harmful effects of a poison. A formal school dance. Prom. 1 more point for Dovid. It is not medicine. A substance, especially a medicine. Antidote was correct. Another point for Dovid. I will read it again, but the point is awarded. A substance, especially a medicine that acts against the harmful effects of a poison. Antidote was correct. All right, guys, we are going to go on the 5-minute break now because it looks like we are about halfway through. And I will be adding 2 minutes to the end of the stream, 2 minutes to the end of the stream game time because of the technical difficulty I had earlier. I would like to apologize for. I try to make the time the exact same. All right, guys, here's how the break works. I'm going to read the scores off real quick before we start the break. Luke DeDuke has 17. Richard. Actually, I'm going to read all the champion scores first. Luke DeDuke has 17. Javier has 10. Brawny has 7. Anissa 3. Almighty Royal 3. Baronator 0. I'm so sorry, Baronator, that I keep saying you have 0. I'm still going to leave your name, though. Now, this is everybody competing for entering the Hall of Champions. Richard in first place with 9. And then Traveling Patty with 8. Dovid with 4, Felix with 1. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and when you hear the sound of the gong, the 5-minute break has started. When you hear the sound of the air horn, the 5-minute break is officially over. And I do carry a stopwatch on me so I can keep track of the time so I can be fair. We're going to go ahead and start that right now. I will be back in 5 minutes and we will continue. We do have one more show today. One more game show today. All right, guys. Break is over. We'll be starting again shortly. Richard Green, please try to keep it appropriate. Sometimes there are younger audiences in the chat. But Richard, you are currently in the lead for number 1. No, it's okay. It's okay. It is okay. I am a very lenient, forgiving person. I just want to be respectful because sometimes there are small children that play. I'm not per se for or against that stuff. I just don't know if, it is the most friendly, safe environment. So, for example, a 9-year-old. There's no problem. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and remove it for you. I almost accidentally pinned it. All right, continuing on, guys. Continuing on. There's nothing to be sorry about. It's all learning. We're building this environment together, guys. We are building this environment together. So don't even worry about it. We're gonna move forward. We're gonna move forward, and we're gonna play. We're gonna play. It would be awful. I did almost pin it. Oh my god. I'm still getting used to this, guys. Sorry. Moving on to sorry guys, I'm a little thrown off right now. We're gonna do a couple rounds of Guess That Balloon. Hey, just Lizzie, welcome. We're playing a game show. First person to correctly guess what I'm making will get a point on the scoreboard. Gun is correct, guys. I have to learn more. You have to learn more. Throw you guys off. Gun was correct. I think I might skip balloon up for about a week so I can give myself a chance to learn a few more. Because we have a lot of regulars who just know. They just know. Gun was correct. The point is going to go to Brawny. So we're going to make it fair. We're going to make it fair, and we're just going to do the new games for the rest of the stream. I might throw in a random balloon. We'll see. You guys might not see balloon art for a few days because I just need to learn it. Can I practice on stream at the end? Yeah, sure, I can. I'm going to hang out. I hang out at the end of the stream for a few minutes. All right, we're going to continue on. We're going to play another round of Blurt. You guys are well-versed on the balloons. In fact, when I first started streaming, sometimes I'd pull the color out and people would get it right away. So I'm like, okay. I only know about 30 designs right now. So, all right, we're going to move on to a round of Blurt where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. And the first person, he does say sort. The first person to guess the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. The first, and currently Richard is in the lead for joining the Hall of Champions. The first definition, to speak or say very softly. The second definition, a piece of cloth put over the eyes to keep someone from seeing. Whisper is correct. 1 point to Brawny. Blindfold is correct. Another point for Brawny. We're going to play another round of Blurt. Blurt is where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. First person to get the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. First definition, a word that occurs at the end of a prayer and that is used to express agreement. The second definition, a very small wave. Amen is correct. Another point for Dovid. And guys, if I forget to give you guys your points, please let me know. Please let me know. Current is incorrect. A very small wave. Current is incorrect. Signal is incorrect. Splash is incorrect. Starts with an R. Ripple is correct. A point for Brawny. Hey, Alexio. Welcome back. Welcome back, Alexio Gaming. All right, we currently have 99 people on the Hall of Fame. You only need 1 point in this show to enter the Hall of Fame, and your name is there forever. Get the most points in one stream, and you're not already on the Hall of Fame. You enter the Hall of Fame. We're going to move on to another round of Blurt. We'll do Battleship. After 2 more rounds of Blurt, we will do Battleship. Blurt is where I give the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to know the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. 2 points can be handed out to the players. Welcome, Chibi. Oh, Taekwondo. Awesome. Good to know. Good to know. Taekwondo's a great one. That's really fun. We're going to move back on to Blurt. The first definition, the part of the face or head of humans and animals for breathing and smelling. The second definition, the chair occupied by a king, queen, or other ruler. Nose is correct. 1 point to Javier. Throne, correct. 2 points for Javier. 1 more round of Blurt. What's up, Roblox? No problem. I have 1 more stream coming on tonight. Hey, typos are okay, Mike. There is only 1 game I play in this stream where I do not allow typos, and it's called Password, because I give the extra challenge because it's called Password. Hey, John Comforter, welcome back. Guys, we're going to play 1 more round of Blurt, and then we're going to move on to Battleship as requested. Blurt is where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to know the correct word for either definition gets a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a child of one's aunt or uncle. The second definition, a hill of sand heaped up by the wind. Cousin is correct. 1 point for Richard Green. Where are you, Richard? You're at the top. Dune is correct. 1 point for, let me make sure, for Luke to Duke. Yes, I agree. I'm trying very hard to stop quit drinking caffeine. I went about 6 months last year, 4 months this year. And it is very mentally good for me to not drink caffeine. So I will admit it is not good for me. I will admit that. All right, guys, we are going to move on to Battleship for you regulars. Please don't guess yet. We have slightly changed that. Originally, I was letting you guys start guessing as soon as I said Battleship, but I want to be fair for the newer players. So we're changing that. I've also reduced the amount of time I let you guys guess. So here's how Battleship works. When you guys hear the ding, 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 you may start guessing, but not yet. Battleship, I have ships hidden all over. I agree, don't do fizzy drinks. I agree. I have ships hidden on my Battleship board. These ships are on a 10 by 10 grid as seen below. You guys have to guess by the columns are numbered from left to right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The rows are lettered from top to bottom. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. You must pair a letter with a number. For example, you could say A1 or J10. The first person to hit that, it's okay, John. The first person to hit that part of the ship will get the point. You're allowed as many guesses as you want, but only 1 guess per comment. All right, we're going to stop it right there, and we are going to read them off. I'm going to stop them right there. I'm only accepting answers above when I said done. Just so that way we can keep it brief. I'm going to start with Javier's A4, just because, John, you said it early, but it's okay. I have to find my pegs. Give me 1 second, guys. I have to find my pegs. All right. Javier with A4. Oh, I forgot the music. Javier, A4. Hit. And I do show the battleship at the end of the stream, as per requested by somebody the other day. I did start showing it. 1 point for Javier. Mike Tones, A5. Hit, but it was already a hit. B4. Hit. 1 point for Richard. D4. Miss. D1. Miss. B6. Hit. Who said B6 first? Be Luke to Duke. 1 point for Luke to Duke. B4 hit, but it was already a hit. A6 hit, but it was already a hit. F8 miss. I2 miss. B9 hit, but it was already a hit. C4 hit. 1 point for Javier. And if I forget to give you guys your points, please let me know when the round is over. Sometimes I forget. I do like to give the point as soon as I see the hit, though. A2 hit, but it was already a hit. K2. I do not believe K is in here. D4 miss. F4 miss. E4 miss. B2 hit, but it was already a hit. C. Oh, I'm sorry. B2 was a hit. I was reading A2. My apologies. I was reading A2. B2 is a hit. And that was from Mike Tones. Give me a second, guys. I have to add Mike to the scoreboard. Mike, welcome to the scoreboard. And Mike, it looks like this is your first time earning a point on this game show, which means I'll be adding your name to the Hall of Fame. And once you enter, you never leave. Also, congratulations on being the 100th person to enter the Hall of Fame. We are officially in the 3 digits now. Continuing on, congratulations, Mike. We have C2 hit as a point for John Comforter. John, I do believe I have to add your name to the scoreboard as well. John, I remember you from the other day. You're already in the Hall of Fame. But welcome to the scoreboard for today's show. 1 point for you guys. And continuing on. C9 hit. That is 1 point for Luke to Duke. J10 miss. F4 miss. E6 miss. D3 miss. C3 hit. C3 is a hit. Another point for Mike Tones. G4 miss. A9 hit. There's another point for Luke to Duke. H4 miss, G2 miss, H4 miss. That concludes this round of Battleship. There are still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points left out to give on Battleship, so I may or may not play another round. Let me see how much time do we have left in this stream. We still have about 40 minutes of gameplay. Well, 42 because I'm adding an extra 2 minutes because of my technical issues I had earlier. Hall of Fame 100, that's special. It is special, Mike. Congratulations on the pot. Congratulations, everybody currently playing, for being in the top 100. The first 100. You got an IRL grid to market. That's good. All right, Chibi, I'll see you at the next one. Gonna cap it. Cap this marker so I don't dry it out. All right, guys, we're going to continue on. It's really exciting that we've had 100 players so far on the stream. We're going to play another round of Blurt where I will give you guys the dictionary definition for 2 words. And the first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. And Mike, I don't know if you hear when I explained it, but whoever gets the most points on the scoreboard who's not already on the Hall of Champions will enter the Hall of Champions. One person enters the Hall of Champions every single day. Ref Wolf, welcome back. I'll go ahead and read the scores per Luke's request. I'm going to read the champions first. Luke DeDuke has 21. Javier has 14. Brawny has 11. Anissa has 3. Almighty Royal has 3. Now reading the players competing to enter the Hall of Champion. Richard in the lead with 11. Traveling Patty has 8. And David has 5. Felix has 1. Mike Tones has 2. And John C. has 1. Richard, you're currently in the lead for entering the Hall of Champions. Well, welcome back, Ref Wolf. Welcome back. All right, guys, moving back on to Blurt, where I will read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first definition, a slow-moving land or water animal that has a soft body inside a spiral shell. The second definition, a toy that consists of a box with a doll or puppet inside that pops out when the box lid is opened. Snail is correct. Jack in the Box, correct. 1 point for David for Jack in the Box. David is catching up to Richard. I actually have to move that point so I can more easily see it. Give me 1 second. Sorry, sometimes when I put them too close, it's hard to tell. Who was the first person to say snail on my screen? It looks like Ref Wolf. Ref Wolf. Ref Wolf, I have to add you to the scoreboard. Welcome to the scoreboard for today. Ref Wolf is already on the Hall of Fame. But he's not in the Hall of Champions, which means he is competing for the Hall of Champions. And of course, I do the friendly competition because a lot of people have fun competing. But if you're here just to have fun, that is okay. That is okay. All right. And guys, eventually the scoreboard will be more easily readable for you guys. It'll be on an electronic device. For now, I'm doing the chat first, and then the scoreboard will be figured out next. I know it's hard to read, and I apologize, but we're going to continue on, and the stream is developing every single day. We're going to continue on with another round of Blurt, and then we're going to move on to Password. Blurt is where I give you the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to give me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, to walk with an uneven or awkward movement by placing the body's weight mostly on one leg. The second definition, a paper slip or card that gives a person certain rights or services. Limp is correct. A point for Javier. A paper slip. Nope, you guys do not have it yet. A paper slip or card that gives a person certain rights or services. I would not have guessed that. Nope. I would have not have guessed that this is the definition for this word. A paper slip or card that gives a person certain rights or services. I would never have guessed it. I'm going to have to give you guys a hint in a few seconds. You need to buy one of these to go to a concert or get onto a train or get into an event. You need to buy one of these. Ticket is correct. Ticket is correct. I would not have thought that would have been the definition. Michael, it looks like you were the first person on my screen to say ticket. Give me a second, guys. I have to add Michael to the scoreboard. Michael, welcome to the scoreboard. Make sure I'm spelling your name right. Let me scroll up. Michael, it looks like this is your first time earning a point on this game show, which means after the show I will be adding your name to the Hall of Fame, and once you enter, you never leave. You are number 101 to enter. Congratulations. Congratulations, and welcome to the game show where I host them, you guys play them, and I keep score. All right, guys, we are going to And just so you know, whoever gets the most points in one stream who's not already on the Hall of Fame will enter the Hall of Fame. What's up? It's Sophie. Welcome. All right, guys, we're going to move on to password. Password is where I give you guys clues and hints until somebody can guess my one-word password. This is the only game where I am very strict on typos. You must letter for letter have it correct. Capitalization does not matter. This is the only game so far where I am very strict on typos. All right, guys, we're going to play password. The first person to correctly guess my one-word password gets a point. All right. You could describe a house that was poorly taken care of as this. You could take a trash can and blank it out. It's not abandoned. It's not dirty. We're playing dump is correct. That was a hard one for me to give clues for. That was a hard one. Javier, you're going to get the point. Dump was correct. Like dump something out. That was a hard one for me to give clues for. All right, we're going to play another, and I do skip some of these, the password ones, just to make sure that I can give clues for them. All right, guys, we're going to play another round of password where the first person to correctly guess my one-word password based off of my hints and clues will get a point on the scoreboard. You must be letter for letter correct. Capitalization does not matter. All right, this is a monument built for certain people who are famous or did important things in the past. They're very heavy. Good luck picking one up. They're usually very tall. Statue is correct. 1 point for Bronny. Oops. We're going to do a welcome back dollar. We're going to do another one. Monument would have been close. It's close guess. We're going to play another round of password. Password is where I give you guys clues and hints until somebody guesses my one-word password. You must get it exact, though. If there is a small hole on the surface of the earth and it rains, it would create this pool of water. You probably wouldn't even see it and accidentally step on it. Pretty annoying. It's probably the smallest pool of water considered out there. Puddle is correct. Luke to Duke. Guys, and I will admit right now, since I'm being strict on the spelling, if I see that somebody got it right, but they spelled it wrong, but I announced it, the first person I see who spelled it right will get the point. Even if I already say it, the first person to say it, spell it right. Since this is a game of password, I think that's kind of a fun little thing. All right, we're going to continue on. Password is that you guys have to guess my one-word password based off the clues and the hints that I give. First person to get it letter by letter correct, minus capitalization, gets a point. I think you would call a town that is smaller than a town this. This is probably one of the smallest things you could call a cluster of homes and businesses and cities. Quite the opposite size of this. Towns small. What's smaller than a town? It would be a village is correct. Dovid. One more point for Dovid. All right, guys, we're going to move on to blurt. Blurt is where I will give you guys the dictionary definition for 2 words, and the first person to correctly tell me the word. All right, dollar. I will do blue, and after a couple rounds of blurt, the first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition is, and up to 2 points can be handed out, a soft yellow precious metal that is used especially to make jewelry and coins. The second definition, something whose work is cutting hair and shaving beards. Gold is correct. A point for Javier. Barber is correct. Another point for Javier. One more round of blurt. This is where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a rod or bar that forms a step on a ladder. The second definition, a sharp painful contraction of a muscle. Brawny, I'll check in 1 second. Wrong is correct. Point for Javier. Nope. Cramp is correct. That is a point for Richard. All right, Brawny, I will. Guys, when you dispute something when I'm in the middle of a round, I'm going, just so you guys know, I'm going to finish the round and then I'll go back and address the dispute. Just so that way we can keep it flowing a little bit. So give me a second. Brawny, you said, hey, you got Barber. All right, I will show you guys my chat. I gave the point to Javier, and on my chat, Javier was the first person to say Barber. We do try to keep it fair. We just use my chat as a tiebreaker because we just need some way to break ties. I know with the internet it's weird. If you both send it around the same time, it will show you both that you sent it first. Here's Javier with Barber, and then Brawny said Barber after Javier. Fair, fun, and friendly, and I really fair is one of my, to keep the integrity of this channel, I try to make this as fair as I possibly can. All right, guys. As per requested by Dollar, we are going to do a balloon. First person to correctly guess what I'm making will get a point on the scoreboard. Not a sword. Guys, I stopped making sword because you guys guessed sword way too much right when I start. Oh, that squeak is, oh my God, that was too much squeak. That was too much squeak. I don't know how the squeak is for you guys, but it is rough for me. Oh my God. Oh, and it popped. Oh my God. Did anybody have it? It was an elephant. It was going to be an elephant. You could probably tell by the face. All right. First person on my screen who said elephant. Let me go all the way back up. Guys, I think soon I am going to have to slightly change the guessing rules for the balloon to make it fair for new and old players, and I might only allow a certain amount of guesses. I might start after only allowing a certain amount of guesses. I'm not going to do that this stream because when I change the rule, I do not apply it until at least the next stream. First person on my screen who said elephant would be Mike Jones. Because I do understand it could be unfair to newer players if you guys spam everything you know I know how to make. That fireworks for the new sub. All right. We are going to continue on with another round of Blurt. And guys, this stream is going to be developing. The rules will kind of always be changing just because I have to accommodate for new players, old players, and as the stream grows, I have to accommodate for the level of people. So, but for now, the rules stay the same. And when I make a new rule, like I said, it will not be added until the next stream. Continuing on, we're going to play another round of Blurt, where I will give you guys you like infinite guesses. Yes, I'm sure. Yes, thank you, Richard. Don't forget to subscribe, Dollar, and I'll see you tomorrow. You might have been the one who got the firework. Guys, Blurt is where I give you the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to get the correct word or either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out. First definition, the part of the body containing the brain, eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. The next definition, a covering for the head, often a crown and a brim. Often having a crown and a brim. Head would be correct. Hat would be correct. Frosty Soul, welcome to the channel where I host the games and you play them and I keep score. On my screen, it looks like Javier is the first person to say head and hat. 2 points for Javier. All right. We're going to play another round of Blurt where I will read you guys the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to know the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. I would agree with Luke to Duke there. The first person to know the correct word for either definition gets a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out. However, it's not determined and it's not finalized until the end of the stream. I don't do that, Roblox. Continuing on. The first definition, a swimming bed made of rope or strong fabric that is hung between two supports. The next definition, a magic spirit in Arab folklore. It is not a swing. A hammock is correct. 1 point for Richard Green. Don't get comfortable, Richard. The game's not over. You guys know people can come in and overtake your spot. You even have some people catching up. Genie is correct. Speaking of people catching up would be Ref Wolf, who also wants to enter the Hall of Champions. Don't get too comfortable, Richard. You just got to stay on your toes. You don't get to relax until you're already in the Hall of Fame. Just remember that. For example, Ref Wolf just got the point for Genie. All right, guys, I'm going to see how much time we have left in the stream. I like to be fair. I like to be on time. I like to keep track. We still have about 25 minutes left of gameplay and a little bit more. All right, Chris. We're going to play another round of Blurt, and then we're going to do some Battleship. We're going to take 2 more rounds of Blurt. When are these hosted? I try to host them daily. Some days I do multiple a day. If you follow me and you go to my community post, I post the times for that day that I will be streaming after I wake up. I am up all night improving the stream, so I do wake up pretty late, and that's why I'm streaming in the afternoons for now. We're going to continue on to another round of Blurt, where I will read the dictionary definition for 2 words, and the first person to tell me the correct word will get a point on the scoreboard. The first, and up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, the period of time from Friday evening through Sunday evening. The second definition, a plant that grows where it is not wanted. You're welcome. Weekend is correct. 1 point for Javier. It's not. Weed is correct. 1 point for Luke to Duke. 1 point for Javier. 1 point for Luke to Duke. I'm going to go ahead and read. Actually, I'm going to do the other round of Blurt, read the scores, and then we will do Battleship. Blurt, this is where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to know the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. I'm going to reread weed if that was what you were wondering. A plant that grows where it is not wanted is a weed. And the period of time from Friday evening through Sunday evening is the weekend. All right, we're going to continue on to Blurt, where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. The first definition, a large metal disc that makes a deep ringing sound when struck. Luke to Duke, that's funny. The second definition, a kind of slow, sad jazz music. Bell is not correct. Gong is correct. Mike Tones, another point for Mike Tones. Blues is correct. That would be a point for Ref Wolf. I'm going to go ahead and read the scores, and then we're going to move on to Battleship. Amongst the champions, Luke to Duke has 23, Javier has 22, Brawny has 12, Anissa 3, Almighty Royal 3. Amongst everybody else who's competing to enter the Hall of Champions, because one person does enter every single stream. Almighty was the person who entered last stream. Amongst the people competing for the Hall of Champions for this stream, Richard is in the lead with 13 points, followed by Traveling Patty with 8. And then Dovid has 7. Mike Tones has 4. Ref Wolf has 3. And Michael, Felix, and John Sear all have 1. We're going to continue on to I think our final round of Battleship. Do not start guessing until you hear the ding, 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 please. We're going to move on. Let me explain for anybody who's just showing up. Battleship is where you guys are guessing where I hid my ships. I have many ships hidden on my Battleship board. Let me show you guys what it looks like as well. The Battleship board is a 10 by 10 grid that looks like this. I don't even know if you guys can see this over behind the chat, but anyway, it's a 10 by 10 grid. The columns are numbered from left to right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The rows are lettered from top to bottom. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. So from A to J and 1 to 10, you must pair a letter with a number. So, for example, you could say A1 or J10. You are allowed as many guesses as you would like, but only one guess per comment. And as long as you are the first person to hit that, as long as you're the first person to hit that spot on the ship, you will get the point. All right, I'm stopping it right there, and I'm only accepting the answers that are above when I said done. That is a lot of answers, but that is okay. We're going to continue on. Monsters are one of the worst things to get in your eye. All right, I'll get my pegs out. Make sure I'm set up the marker to give points out. Remember, you must be the first person to hit that spot. All right. H5, miss. A5, hit, but it was already a hit. C4, hit, but it was already a hit. D1, miss. I5, miss. C1, hit, but it was already a hit. D6, miss. B7, hit. We were first hit of the last round of the battleship. B7, and on my screen, the first person to say that was Refwolf. I am sorry, I messed up the points there. I have to redraw it so I can keep track. Continuing on. J5, miss. D1, miss. A7, hit. And I will be showing the board at the end of this round. C2, hit, but it was already a hit. A6, hit, but it was already a hit. C9, hit, but it was already a hit. B5, hit, but it was already a hit. J7, miss. D9, miss. B6, hit, but it was already a hit. C6, hit, but it was already a hit. H1, miss. D2, miss. H5, miss. D6, miss. I1, miss. F6, miss. E6, miss. I7, miss. D5, miss. F6, miss. B5, hit, but it was already a hit. H10, miss. G6, miss. I2, miss. H1, miss. H6, miss. C3, hit, but it was already a hit. A1, hit, but it was already a hit. A10, hit. First person to say A10 was Luke Duke. You're getting the point for A10. And continuing on. I6, miss. B5, hit, but it was already a hit. J6, miss. F3, miss. And that concludes this round of Battleship. This is where I will show you guys the ship. See you later, Dollar. I hope to see you again. Who got the point for A7? I can go back and check who got the point for A7. Let me go ahead and see who the first person to say A7 was. It looks like Michael said A7. Did I say A7 was a hit this round? Because remember, it's only the first person to say it. If I didn't, I'm just going to... Did I not give the point out? I didn't put it on. I'm going to go ahead. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give him a point. Let me know if I already gave the point out for A7. No point given. Then it was Michael who got the point for A7. It was Michael who got the point for A7. I'm going to go ahead and double check, and then we will continue on. Thank you guys for letting me know. First person I see who said A7 was Michael. Sorry, I forgot your point. And I will show you guys the score. I will show you guys... Drink iced coffee, panic attack. Drink coffee, panic attack. All right, guys, I'm going to show you the battleship board. I did something a little fun this time. I put every single ship on the top 3 rows. So if you would have said A, B, or C at all, it was a guaranteed hit. I put all of the battleships on the first 3 rows. That's why I was able to read it off so incredibly fast when you guys got a miss. If you said D, E, F, G, H, I, or J, I knew it was an automatic miss. That's why that round was able to go so fast. I thought that one would be fun. It was still played fair. It was still played fair. That will be the last round because I did show you guys the board. Now remember, between every single stream, the battleship is reset. The battleship is reset between every single stream, but it is the same across 1 and 2 hour streams. All right, I'm just going to see who's in first is Richard with 13. And we have Traveling Petty, looks like she left at 8, and Dovid's catching up with 7. All right, we are going to carry on with another game of Password. Yeah, you guys actually got a lot of those. I think you guys, there was only a few points left. Yeah, there's 22 out of 30 of the points were claimed. All right. We're going to continue on with Password. About 16, 17 minutes left in the gameplay. All right. Password is where the first person to correctly, letter by letter, guess my one-word password gets a point on the scoreboard. Based off of my clues and hints, you must correctly guess. No typos are allowed. Capitalization does not matter. Yes, I will be adding the 2 minutes for technical difficulty. I will not forget that. I will not forget that. All right, so here are the clues and the hints to my one-word password. I think there was a killer named this, and there are, I think, 13 signs, depending on where you were born. Somebody would say blank sign. Zodiac is correct. 1 point for Javier. 1 point for Javier. Yes, I will. Do not worry. I will not forget. I will not forget to add the 2 points. We're going to move on to another round of Password. All right. This is where the first person to correctly guess my one-word password gets a point on the scoreboard. Based off my clues and hints, you must get it letter by letter. Capitalization does not matter. Typos are not accepted. All right. You need to use gun blank to make bullets. Granulated sugar, I believe, is sugar ground down to a blank. Some makeup is just powder is correct. Bronny Lee with 1 point. Powder is correct. We're going to move on to another round of... See, it was Luke to Duke? It was not Luke to Duke on my screen. It was not Luke to Duke on my screen. In fact, he was the 4th person to say powder. And Michael, just so you know, for the password game, it's only going to ever be one word. And if I ever give the word out in the description, it is not that word. It is only ever going to be one word for password, just so you know. We're going to move on to Blurt, where I give the dictionary definition. Ronnie on yours. This is where I give the dictionary definition. Sure, dollar. I will make a balloon after 2 more rounds of Blurt. This is where I give the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to correctly tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. The first definition: the star around which the Earth and other planets revolve and which is our source of light and heat. The second definition: a small room for one person, as in a monastery or prison. Sun is correct. That is 1 point for Refwolf. Refwolf, you're at 5. Cell is correct. That is a point for Mike Tones. Mike Tones, you are also at 5. We are going to continue on with another round of Blurt, where I will read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to know the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition: a figure resembling a human being that is set up to scare birds away from crops. The second definition: a grave or building for a dead body. Scarecrow is correct. 1 point for Refwolf. A grave or building for a dead body. Tomb is correct. 1 point for Javier. As per requested, will make a balloon. All right, guys. Hold. Oh, never mind. I can't change the rules halfway through the stream. I had already said I would never do that. Unless it is an absolute dire, game-changing rule. First person to correctly guess what I am making will get a point on the scoreboard. Not a gun. Not a gun. This animal has such a large neck. Draw the polka dots on it. Giraffe is correct. Giraffe is correct. All right, first person on my screen who said giraffe. Let me go all the way back up and see when we started. First person to say giraffe was Refwolf. Guys, very soon I will be limiting the amount of guesses for the balloon art, so you guys actually have to correctly guess instead of spam, but not yet, just to keep it fair for newer players and to control the chat a little bit, because that is a lot to go through. So, all right, we're going to play another round of Blurt. I know, guys, sorry. I know. What time tomorrow afternoon? I'm not 100% sure, dollar, but if you check my community post sometime tomorrow, at least several hours before I get on, I will post it, or at least a couple hours before I get on, I will post it. Or replace the balloon for a while. I think I might replace the balloon for a while. We'll see. Good suggestion. We're going to move on to another round of Blurt, where I will read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to know the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out. And I do have one more stream today. The first definition, a long seat. The second definition, to change from a liquid to a solid by loss of heat. It was time to forget. First definition, a long seat. Bench is correct. 1 point for Brawny. Have a great day, dollar. To change from a liquid to a solid by loss of heat. Freeze is correct. First person to say freeze on my screen was Refwolf. Refwolf, I have to clean up your points a little bit because I have that a little bit too close to each other. I'm going to go ahead and read the points before we continue on. Luke to Duke, you are at... Did I give the point out for bench? Yeah, it was to Brawny. I did. Okay. Luke to Duke, you are at 5, 10, 15, 20, 24. Javier is at 24 as well. Brawny is at 14. Anise is at 3. Almighty Royal at 3. Now, reading the points for everybody else who's competing then to the Hall of Champions. I always read the champions' points first now. Richard is in the lead with 13, followed by Traveling Patty with 8, and then Dovid with... Oh, no, I'm sorry. Refwolf also has 8, and then Dovid with 7. Mike Tones, you have 5. And then Michael, you have 2. John C. and Felix Rain have 1. Continuing on. All right, this firework is for whoever just subbed. I'd like to celebrate you guys playing. All right, we're going to continue on. We have about 7 minutes left. We're going to play another round of Blurt. Blurt is where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words, and the first person to know the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a small, shallow dish for holding a cup. The second definition, someone who steals. First definition repeated, a small, shallow dish for holding a cup. Saucer is correct, 1 point for Brawny. The second definition repeated, someone who steals. Thief is correct. 1 point for Brawny and 1 point for Mike Tones. Mike Tones, here you go. Brawny. There you go. Brawny, you're at 15. Mike, you are at 6. I think I'm actually going to start reading you guys' scores out loud as I give you a point, just individual scores at a time as I give you guys a point. I think that could help keep track of the scoreboard a little bit. Well, Ref Wolf, you can't know everything. So, don't feel bad. I have sure learned a lot. That's okay. If people leave, they stay on the scoreboard. We actually, even the other day, we had somebody, the Wizard, had to leave halfway through. An hour later when the stream ended, he still had the most points and was still entered into the Hall of Champions. In fact, he came out 1 minute before it was announced. It doesn't matter if you leave. I do not take your name off the scoreboard. When you enter the Hall of Fame, you stay. When you enter the Hall of Champions, you stay, because some people leave and they come back. So we are going to continue on with another round of Blurt. Blurt is where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to give me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a room where food is cooked or prepared. The second definition, the sister of one's father or mother. Tea is a drink of people. Kitchen is correct, 1 point for Javier. Ant is correct, 1 point for Ref Wolf. Javier with 25, Ref Wolf with 9. I'm going to get in the habit of reading you guys' points as I give you a point, because I think that could help with the glare of the scoreboard. Scoreboard system will be changed soon. Or at least the scoreboard display will. Hey, another round of Blurt where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition gets a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a small axe with a short handle. The second definition, the hard, bony framework of the head that encloses the brain in animals with a backbone. Hatchet is correct, 1 point for Javier. Skull is correct, 2 points for Javier. Javier, you're at 27. All right, guys, we're going to do password. I have to check the time. I like to be as fair as I can with the time. I don't want to give any group of extra minutes just because it needs to be fair for everybody who competed in the last one. So 4 minutes to go. 4 minutes to go in the gameplay. We're going to continue on. Being out-goated by the GOAT who holds the high score. All right, we're going to move on to password, where you guys have to guess my one-word password by the clues and the hints I give. No typos are allowed. I did put the points up. Yes, I read them out loud. All right, the first definition. Oh, I'm sorry. That was the other game. The first clue. All right, when 2 people are arguing, it is called this. I'm going to skip the first word. When 2 people are arguing, it is called this. Friendly arguing. Trying to see they're trying to convince debate is correct. Brawny, you get the point. Brawny, you're at 16. Another round of password. First person to correctly guess my one-word password without any typos based off the clues and the hints I give a point on the scoreboard. This is a device that is in between the size of a cell phone and a laptop. It's very portable. It was close, but it was actually not. Tablet is correct. Richard, it was actually not the same word, but many people guessed that. It was not. First person on my screen to say tablet was Javier. I will admit, Richard, it was a very close word. It was banter. Banter was the word that you're thinking of. Banter was the word that we had earlier. A lot of people guessed debate, but the actual word earlier was banter. 1 point to Javier, who is currently at 28 points. We're going to move on to another round of password. The first person to correctly guess my one-word password based off the clues and the hints I get, letter by letter, you must get it right, gets a point on the scoreboard. This is something many people get this on their birthday or on certain holidays like Christmas and I think Hanukkah. They give one of these out a day, I believe. Gift is correct. Javier, you're at 29. All right, we're going to move on to another round of password. The first person to correctly guess my one-word password without typos based on the clues and the hints I get a point on the scoreboard. If you've ever been to a comedy show and you see somebody talk to the comedian when they shouldn't be, this is what they are doing to the comedian. Heckle is correct. 1 point for Javier. Javier. Luke to Duke, do I know what today is? I do not. What is it? If it's your birthday, happy birthday. We are going to play another round of Password, and then we'll see if we have time for some more rounds of Blurt. I know Blurt's a fan favorite. First person to guess my one-word password correctly will get a point on the scoreboard. You do not want to eat fruit until it is this. Once you wait too long after it is this, it is rotten. Fruit is perfect when it is ripe is correct. Ref word. Your birthday's on the 24th. Awesome. That is coming up. Luke to Duke. 1 point for Ref Wolf. Ref Wolf, you're at 10. Ref Wolf, you're at 10. Richard, just so you know, you are at 13. Hey, John. Good to see you're still here. We're going to see, guys, we have time for one more round of Blurt. One round of Blurt. Blurt is where I read the definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, 2 or more slices of bread with a filling, such as meat, cheese, or peanut butter and jelly between them. The second definition, having light-colored hair and pale skin. Sandwich is correct. Point for Ref Wolf. Second definition was having light-colored hair and pale skin. Wow, I didn't know that was the definition. It's not albino. It's not white. I didn't know I had pale skin according to this definition. Having light-colored hair and pale skin is... Yeah, you're welcome, Roblox. Blonde is correct. 1 point to Michael. All right, guys. I'm going to make sure that you're the first person to say blonde. It does look like you were. Yeah, I did not know that was a definition for blonde. Having light-colored hair and pale skin. I do not believe I have pale skin. I do go outside a lot. I guess, technically, without me going outside, I would have pale skin. So, all right. That is the end of the game show. We have a few more minutes in the stream, though. I'm going to announce all of the winners. Let me read the scores for the champions. Luke to Duke had 5, 10, 15, 20, 24. Javier, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Brawny had 16. Anissa had 3. Almighty Royal had 3. Baronators. Sorry, I keep saying your name was 0. Now the scores. To announce the winner of tonight's show, which was very, very close. Third place was Traveling Patty with 8. Second place was Ref Wolf with 11. Ref Wolf, you had 11. And I'd like to announce the new champion in the Hall of Champions would be Richard. Congratulations, Richard, for getting 13 points. I threw those balloons at the wrong spot. Richard, congratulations. Guys, that was right down to the wire. That was right down to the wire. Ref Wolf came in a little bit late on today's stream, but Ref Wolf, you had 11 points. You were so close. Richard, you fought right down to the last minute with 13 points. Congratulations for entering the Hall of Champions. Ref Wolf, I feel like you're all going to be a runner-up. You keep coming back. Richard's been fighting for this for streams now. He's fought in a few streams and fought a good game. He really did. Richard, congratulations. I will be adding your name to the Hall of Champions after. And for the few people who are here for the first time, I will add your name to the Hall of Fame after. I think we're at 101 people now. So congratulations to everybody who's entering the Hall of Fame. And Richard, really congratulations for earning the spot in the Hall of Champions where only one person enters per stream. And if I stream multiple times a day, yes, multiple people will enter the Hall of Champions, but only one per stream. Congratulations, Richard. Good games, guys. We will be doing... Yes, Brawny, my name is... Yes, Brawny is correct. My name is Shannon, and I am the host I see Dollar. I saw you asked for my name. I must have been doing the announcement. My name is Shannon Bronny. Is correct. I am the game host where I host the games. You guys play them. I keep score and I try to run it as smoothly and as fair as I can. It is consistently developing. I will be doing at least one stream tomorrow. Can't guarantee how many I'm going to do, but I will do at least one. Congratulations, everybody. Not only was that fun, that was close. I love seeing it go right down to the wire, which is also why I've had to put a time limit on the stream. And I did add the 2 minutes for the technical difficulty that I, again, apologize for. Yes, Ref Wolf, I believe you will get up there. And this is the part of the stream where I do pop the balloons, since I have to pop them anyway. Mike Tones, you love this game. Awesome. I try to stream every single day. And some days I do stream multiple times a day. Since the sign says game night, can it be in the evening so those that work can be present? Bronny, I'm not sure where you are, but it is actually 9 p.m. for me right now. And to be honest, the people who watch this game are all over the world. I have so many different time zones that eventually I would like to start streaming in the morning for me and the afternoon. Emmett, you're in Central Time. I am also in Central Time. Thank you, Richard Green. When will I stream tomorrow? Well, John, I'm actually going to stream one more time tonight, an hour after I end, and then tomorrow I will be posting every day on my community post on my times. I just started doing that yesterday. I will be posting tomorrow. I gotta just see. I got a lot of things going on in life right now, so I have to be careful. It does say game night. Well, it is night for me right now. I know it didn't start at night today. This is the only tapestry I could find online that fit the aesthetic I was going for that didn't have a controller on it, like a video game controller. Video games are not played here. This is just tabletop games. You got 50 for mod. Oh my god, guys. Do I have to start auctioning off the first place do I have to auction off the first mod spot? You know, that actually might be a fun way to kick off the Hall of Support, is auction off the first mod spot. That's kind of funny. I don't know if I will do that, because I do have to be careful with the mods, but Luke to Duke. Do you want me to put happy birthday on it? Yeah, of course I could do that, Luke to Duke. Where, let me go marker, Luke to Duke. Wait, Luke to Duke, isn't your birthday in 10 days? Isn't your birthday in 10 days? I'll still add it. But wasn't it the 24th? Oh, you're saying for your birthday. I just added it now with 8/24. Happy birthday coming up. Oh, Luke to Duke, I am so sorry to tell you this, but I actually will be out of town on the 24th. I don't think I'll be streaming on your birthday. I am very sorry about that. I am going to a family gathering. Once a year, we do a family reunion, and that'll be one of the few times over the next couple months I will not be doing a show, but happy early birthday. But remember, you do not get anything extra. I will give you a million shout outs on your birthday, guys, or something if you want me to when it's your birthday, but you get no extra points on the scoreboard for being your birthday because we play fair here. But happy early birthday. I hope you have a good one. I know my birthdays are always fun when I was younger. Now I don't party at all anymore, so you nearly broke your leg today, man. Oh. You got a whole balloon collection. Yes, I do, Michael. I collect them all in a little bin throughout the game. I throw them on the table for a little victory celebration, which I'm working on something else for a more grand celebration for the victor. Raffle, 3 a.m. for you. Richard, I can't believe I made the Hall of Champions. Guys, I'm reading so far back on, I realize I should catch up a little bit more. I kind of read them backwards. Richard, congratulations for making the Hall of Champions. I can believe it. You know how many times I've seen you come in here, fight for that spot? You got it. I'm not surprised you got it. Ah, technical difficulties. Wrong keyboard. Sorry, I work with two keyboards up here. John, did I get a new setup? I did. I'm actually in the same room, but I just set it up differently. And if you guys are here long enough, in a couple weeks, I thought it would be ready by this weekend. It turns out it will not be ready by this weekend. In fact, it's going to take a little bit longer. I'm doing a completely new setup as well that will likely look completely different from this one, with completely different types of games. And I would like to switch back and forth between the two setups. They're both the same concepts, though, where the first person to get it right gets a point. We're still going to do the scoreboard, the Hall of Fame, the Hall of Support, the Hall of Champions, all of that. We're still doing all of that. The premise of the show stays the same. It's just completely different games that I need a very different setup for. I don't want to give too many spoilers out, but yes. Oh, guys, with all your broken bones. When is the next game, Dovid? The next game is 50 minutes from now. About 50 minutes from now. Yeah, you guys will see definitely at least one more setup, and I'm sure more. But right now I have one in the works. I try not to get too far ahead of myself either, so I won't be working on my third setup for this until this one is fluid and my next one is fluid. And I probably actually won't introduce my next setup until this one is fluid. So scoreboard and the chat. I want to completely perfect one setup before I move on to the next one. And I feel like the next one's going to be a lot easier. Hey, Chloe, welcome back. You're right at the end. Oh, wow. Did that mess up? No, it does say victory down there. My stream just kind of goes back sometimes. Oh, surgery's always rough. Luke Duke said you're such a troll for Battleship. I thought that was funny. Which reminds me, I actually have to reset Battleship. While I'm here, I might as well do it. I thought that would be funny to put every single ship on the first 3 rows. Alright guys, I'm gonna end the stream in a few minutes. You guys can, hang out and talk to each other while I'm gonna set up for the next one. Colby Lee, welcome back. Colby Lee, we're at the end of this stream, but I have another one in about 48 minutes. Colby Lee, welcome back. I got one more tonight. It's Maddie. Aren't you the guy that was doing the coin finger trick the other day? I am. I have migrated to hosting a live game show where I host the games and you guys play them. I've been doing this for almost 2 weeks now, I think. Maybe a week and a half. So, and this is going really well and it's really, really fun. So, yeah, I am that guy who tried to teach people how to roll a quarter on their knuckles. In fact, do I have a quarter next to me? I don't think I do. Otherwise, I'd show you. Fireworks for the new sub. Luke to Duke, you're going to beat the record next time, okay? Good luck. About 47 minutes, Colby. Yes, it's Maddie. I was the dude doing the coin finger trick the other day where I was rolling a coin across my knuckles, but I have transitioned into doing a game night show. I host them. You guys play them. I keep track on a scoreboard. Enter people into Hall of Champion. Whoever gets the highest amount of points in one stream gets their name entered in the Hall of Champions. Which this stream, Richard Green, who's been coming here for a while, was entered into the Hall of Champions. Also keep track of every single person who's ever earned a point on this game show called the Hall of Fame. Currently, I think 101 people into the Hall of Fame, which I will have to update after this stream. I'm going to go ahead and update it right now while I'm here. Oh. Oh, Luke, did you give me 1 second? Sorry, I was entering the information for the Hall of Famers and stuff. I'm so sorry about that. We have 101 people in the Hall of Fame. I will let you guys know this. I'm not going to push it too often just because I'm more focused on having fun and making sure we have a good show. We do have the Hall of Fame where if you have to earn 1 point on this game show to enter the Hall of Fame, the Hall of Champions, whoever gets the most points in one stream enters the Hall of Champions. And we also do have a Hall of Support. And if anybody ever donates money to this channel, either through my Cash App, Shannon1742, or my PayPal or Venmo, mindfuldiscovery@yahoo.com for PayPal and Venmo, your name will get entered in the Hall of Support. I don't really bother pushing it too much just because I'm more focused on developing the stream in a good time first. But yeah, so the Hall of Support are anybody who supports the channel, go there. Hall of Fame, you have to earn at least 1 point on the show. Hall of Champions, you got to win the stream. So you do have to earn 2 of them and you buy 1 of them. You broke your ribs and tore your lung once and dislocated your whole arm from the shoulder socket. Oh my God, what were you doing? Oh, you earn your way on the Hall of Fame by earning a point on the show. You earn your way into the Hall of Champions by getting the most points in one stream, and then you buy your way onto the Hall of Fame, or I'm sorry, the Hall of Support. I'm so sorry, I messed that up. Hall of Fame, 1 point. Hall of Champions, most points in one stream. Hall of Support is anybody who financially donates to the channel. I don't really push it though because I'm more focused on developing the stream and make it as fun as I possibly can. Who's on the Hall of Support? No one so far, because it's just not a priority of mine right now. I mean, it is appreciated, but I'm just more focused on everybody having a good time. And I've seen a couple other channels, and I find it really annoying when somebody sits there for an hour saying, please subscribe, please subscribe, please subscribe, send me money, here's my Cash App, please subscribe. I don't like that. I think it's really annoying, and we're here for a fun, friendly, spam-free environment. So I try to keep it authentic, and I try to keep it fun. I try not to kill the vibe with talking about money and stuff. You guys, you're all here for fun, so, and so am I. Man, you guys got a lot of injuries. I tore my rotator cuff a couple of years ago. It took me 2 years of working it out to fully recover it. I don't even know if it's fully recovered. So I feel you guys' pain. That kind of stuff sucks, and it can last a long time. Battleship is. Oh, Richard. A golf ball hit. Oh my God. All right, guys, I have 42 minutes before I am. Javier donated. You want your name on the board. Oh, thank you, Javier. Thank you. Thank you. I will definitely be adding you after that. That's funny. That's funny. Thank you. Guys, I'm gonna have to end the stream because I gotta take my break and get a little bit of food in me or something. 42 minutes, we will be back. If anybody did donate, I'll be checking. I'll be adding your name to the Hall of Support for now. I do want to make sure I am in time for the next stream in 42 minutes. Thank you, Javier. I appreciate it. I want to be very careful, make sure I'm in time for the next stream because I do post the times and I want to be fair and respect everybody's schedule. So for now, you guys have a good one. I'll be back in about 41 minutes. Congratulations again, Richard Green, for entering the Hall of Champions.